Hi. Well, yesterday, Donald Trump went on Joe Rogan's podcast and had a almost 3 hour discussion. And it was meant to normalize Trump and his behavior to make him look human and as a non threatening person. Trump was all over the place. It was very hard to ask him a direct question and get a direct answer. And he would go from one wild story. He would discuss the Lincoln bedroom after he got into the White House, but that wasn't what Joe Rogan was asking him. But to fill time, it took a lot of time up. And so that's what Trump wanted to talk about, and that's what he talked about. He did get it wrong. He talked about how Lincoln and his wife had melancholia and that they were upset about the son dying. However, the truth is the son died years after Lincoln became president. And so the whole story was fabricated. Of course, there was no fact checking on anything they said, and Trump just smoothed over his rough spots. Rogan talked about the day in, I believe it was 2015, I believe it was June 16th, that Trump and Melania came down what Rogan called the golden escalator. Well, it wasn't golden. It's, I think, bronze or something like that, plated. And, of course, steel. And so, it's fool's gold. If you think that escalator was gold, that is fool's gold, because it certainly isn't gold, and it's only painted, whatever color it's painted, but I'm told it's more of a bronze color and not a golden color. And then they talked about the problems with people coming into the country illegally, the immigrants, and Rogan had some numbers which I'm told were also not correct about how many people are coming in. And so they talked about, fixing that. But if you listen to Trump, when he first decided to run, and that was back in June of 2015, when he first decided to run for president, that's the same thing he talked about then. The borders, how to decrease the numbers in the borders. He talked about the rapists and the this and the that and all these Mexicans, and most of them are bad people, but I'm sure some are good people, he said. Well, this is the exact same rhetoric he's using to put fear into the minds of people now. And he was president for 4 years, president, the chief, and he didn't fix it. So why is he coming back with the very same rhetoric for his second term? If you didn't fix it during your first 4 years, why would you expect to be elected for the exact same problem for your second 4 years? You had a chance. You could have done it. You could have put more border agents there. You could have done many more things than just building a wall, but you didn't do it. And you didn't do it because you didn't want to do it. You wanted to keep that, I guess, as a problem for your second term. So now he's saying the exact same stuff that he said for his first term when he ran for president. Very, very pitiful. The other thing I wanted to say is that today, BRICS, B-R-I-C-S, which is an international organization which was originally formed for developing financial projects, had a meeting. I think it's ending today, and Putin had a very long speech on what to do about Israel and Gaza. Now, BRICS stands for a number of countries, and it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates. And all of these representatives were there for the meeting. And Putin said he agreed with Joe Biden. He agrees with Joe Biden. The only solution in Israel is the two-state solution. And the solution was discussed and agreed upon by the UN. And he wants to follow that path for a solution to the Israel-Gaza war. So it's not whatever Trump is trying to do. Putin agrees wholeheartedly, and he spoke to this group and said the only thing they can do is go for the two-state solution and work to solve the problems between the Jews and the Muslims and make it good for both countries, even though Israel says this is something they really, really don't want. But they have to discuss it out. There has to be some kind of agreement, because now the war is spreading to include other countries. Now Iran and Israel are tossing bombs at each other and having many more deaths and injuries, and it's going to spread. So BRICS, I think on this, even though Ukraine is fighting with Russia and the United States is providing military arsenal, Joe Biden has been great at keeping American soldiers off the ground in the Ukraine, so that we have supplies for Ukraine, but we have not entered into a war. And I think that the United States with BRICS can work with the UN to solve this problem between the two cultures, Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, Iran, and who knows who else will be drawn into this pitiful, pitiful war over there. And Israel is trying to get the United States involved, but we do not want our soldiers in that war. That's a religious war that's been going on for, you can put a date, the 1940s, but I mean, it's even been, of course, been much longer than that, and we should not get into that war. Trump still complaining about getting troops out by Biden from Afghanistan, saying it was too fast and that we should have gathered all our stuff and taken it out. Well, that war was 20 years old in Afghanistan, and Trump had just left the presidency. It was one of the first things Biden did. He said 20 years of war is enough. How much war do you need in Afghanistan? So Trump should have prepared that country for an exit, so that all of that stuff should have been slowly shipped out, not leaving the soldiers bare, but leaving them with enough so that they could do whatever they needed to do, but take all of our special equipment out. He didn't do it. After 20 years, Biden said, no president seems willing to get these people out. They're just spending tons and tons, billions and billions of money on the Afghanistan war. So he just told the soldiers to grab everything you can, get out, and they did. And I think a lot of moms, brothers and sisters and so forth are happy to have their relatives home rather than in Afghanistan. Yes, it's terrible leaving people there. Yes, we should have taken some equipment. But again, Trump didn't do his job. He didn't have the foresight that after 20 years you have to get out of Afghanistan, and it was his job during his presidency to prepare for the exit from that country. People were not doing anything that needed to be done in a warlike manner, and he needed to prepare that country for the exit of Americans and anybody that was cleared to exit along with them, and to take any stuff out. So don't be mad at Biden for taking the quick route out. What do you want? 25 years war where they can now prepare forever? We can spend billions more dollars trying to recover used equipment. So, yeah, they have the technology and we left it. But that was the fault of Trump, not Biden. And anyway, that's how I see it. What do you think? Like and subscribe. Bye.